I'm back. Scott Zeppelin checking in. I don't know how many videos I'll make. The one I just posted was kind of a spur of the moment thing, just like this one is, I guess. I guess this is a bit more contrived because I did think about it a little bit. I just figured I would talk about some things that I have watched or read recently, things that I enjoy, have enjoyed, may continue to enjoy, for whatever that's worth. So I will start with the most recent film by David Cronenberg called The Shrouds. I found this, minus the corporate espionage of it all, a pretty relatable movie. To me, I haven't really dealt with any major death in my life recently, but I'm in a constant state of questioning my own mortality, fear of dying at any given moment, and I feel like this just kind of addressed some of those things and how we process our own grief and mortality and fear, and all in that nice kind of messed up David Cronenberg way that he does. I don't really want to go too much into it, but I thought it was pretty good, and I found it to be quite moving in its own weird way. So I would recommend checking that out. I think it's on the Criterion channel, but also you can get this fairly cheap on disc, which you should. The next thing is a book. I got this at Barnes & Noble a while back. I just kind of stumbled across a horror panel that was going on with a few people, and this was the author of this book. The way they kind of sold it sounded good to me, so I picked that up. It's basically black metal horror, choose your own adventure type book, and I've spent some time with this and kind of gone through everything, and I would really recommend it. It's pretty fun. As adults, I don't think we get to read things like this very often. Our adventure is kind of laid out for us at this point. At least for me, I'm kind of stuck in a loop. So this was fun. This took me on a trip or two, and I would highly recommend it. Michael Bettendorf, true cult, local author here in Nebraska. Next, and I just got this, this was a bit before my time, Idiot Box. Severin Films released this. It was a sketch comedy show on MTV in the early 90s. I watched it. I thought it was pretty funny. I like a lot of the recurring characters. Alex Winter is hilarious. Obviously, for me, the first place I ever saw him was Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Still love that movie. Love Alex Winter. I'm a big fan of Freaked, which I also will showcase. I did pick that up as well. I did not get the super fancy deluxe edition full of all the tchotchkes and stuff, but I still wanted the movie. So I would definitely recommend this if you're into kind of wacky and wild sketch comedy. It really has that 90s crash TV kind of aesthetic to it, and I dug it. I think it's pretty fun. Like I mentioned, Freaked, crazy effects, fun story. Randy Quaid is total madman in this. Alex Winter, again, I can't heap enough praise on him, as well as the rest of the cast, of course. Mr. T, Bobcat Goldthwait. Everybody's just awesome in this. This is a great movie. I would highly recommend it. I know I'm not giving you much on these, but, this is my channel. Let's see. Next, this is a later period Dario Argento movie. I don't know if I would recommend it. it's not my favorite of his. You know, I'm certainly no expert. I've watched a good amount of his stuff, and I am a fan. What I will say about this is there is a scene that will live with me forever, involving a tapeworm, and yikes, yikes. Check it out for that. It's fucked up. Okay, the last movie I want to talk about, and it's kind of crazy that this got a really nice VSU release from Vinegar Syndrome. Of course, I was thrilled, but I feel like it got to a point where they couldn't give these things away. But this is a movie that I have loved since I was a little kid. Growing up in Hastings, I went to church, and my friend Anton, you know, he led the music and things there, and he was a big inspiration to me, still is. And he had this VHS tape, Six String Samurai, and even as a kid, you know, I was into Elvis and Buddy Holly and things like that, and this movie was just perfect for me. Right place, right time. Crazy Russian surf music by the Red Elvises, desert wasteland, weird gangs of bowlers and cannibals, and I mean Jeffrey Falcon. What a stud! What a stud he is. I can't recommend this movie enough. It may not be for everybody, but it's definitely for me. And again, Six String Samurai, totally great. Yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. Just a few things that I've enjoyed recently or have enjoyed for a long time and still enjoy that I would recommend to you. I'm sure I've repeated myself a lot, but whatever. Again, it's my channel. All right, see you later.